Hello and welcome to Nltv News Now. This is Johanna Marie and we'll start with the headlines. Chief Minister Nltv on Monday informs Nagaland Assembly that interstate dispute between Assam and Nagaland to resolve with mutual understanding. Furthermore, deliberations with Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur also coming to a good understanding. Two bills, namely Nagaland Ground Underwater Regulations and Control of Development and Management Bill 2022 and Nagaland Village and Tribal Council 5th Amendment Bill 2022 introduced on the floor of the 13th Legislative Assembly on the second day of 11th session. Naga People's Front President Dr. Shorozele Lejise clarifies stand on Rajya Sabha polls, saying it is NPF's bounden duty to take a stand and raise voice for the Nagas. NPF Working President Tenu Chaitanya expresses gratitude to Party President Dr. Shorozele Lejise and the party for having confidence in him and endorsing him as the party candidate for the upcoming Rajya Sabha elections. Tenuche extends greetings to individuals and the Naga public in general for their support and prayers. With the state government failing to take any decisions on the superannuation issues of government medical doctors despite giving one-year deadline, Nagaland In-Service Doctor Association decides to go for a 3-day mass casual leave from April 18 to 20 as first phase of agitation. Now the news in details. The interstate dispute, border dispute between Nagaland with the neighboring state is a long-standing problem is witnessing some positive developments of late. This information was conveyed by Chief Minister Nltv to the House on day 2 of the 11th session of the 13th Legislative Assembly. The Chief Minister informed that there were positive developments with Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur and the states were coming to a good understanding on interstate boundary disputes. Rio further said that the border dispute between Assam and Nagaland, which is pending in the Supreme Court, has been communicated in a discussion. Both states had decided to settle the matter outside the court with mutual understanding. He added that it was decided that the stakeholders on both sides, indigenous local leaders, should sit on the matter and not a third-party person who does not know about the issue, and that matter would be persuaded. Regarding the ban imposed by the Southern Angamis, he expressed hope that the leaders will come together and resolve the matter.
The interstate boundary disputes along the Assam-Nagaland border, also mentioned about Arunachal, Manipur, not only that, with the Myanmar country also. So in this issue, things have been taken positively, have been taken up. These border issues also with Home Ministry and also both Manipur and Assam. And we are coming to a good understanding, though the court case is there in the Supreme Court with Nagaland and Assam border dispute. We have communicated and we also in our discussion decided that we must settle outside the court with mutual understanding. It is unfortunate that the Southern Angamis have decided to take up a ban, for which it is a matter of concern, but hopefully leaders should come together and discuss the result. On the interstate.
The Chief Minister of Nagaland, Nltv, recognized the demands of Meluri people for the upgradation of Meluri subdivision to a full-fledged district. The CM, while replying to the question raised by NPF legislator Imkong L. Imchen and Yetaju on the motion of thanks to Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi's address on the second day of 13th session of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly Monday, stated that the demand was understandable and genuine, and further added that the matter would be taken up in taken up after delimitation. Rio assured that once the delimitation process takes place in Nagaland, the government will be able to rearrange the constituencies and can meet their demands of the people. Notably, Rio said delimitation is yet to take place in Nagaland, Jammu Kashmir, Manipur owing to the security reasons. Nagaland collected a total of rupees 2,062.57 crores was collected from Central Goods and Services Tax, State Goods and Services Tax and Integrated Goods and Services Tax from 2018 to 21. The Chief Minister Nltv, in his reply to a start question raised by NPF legislator Kuzoluze Nino on the total revenue generated through CGST and IGST for the year 2018 to 21, informed that a total of rupees 532.84 crores were collected from the three sectors. Furthermore, rupees 713.25 crores in 2019 to 20 and rupees 817.48 crores were collected in 2020 to 21, totaling to a sum of rupees 2,062.57 crores. Moreover, to a query on how the revenues were being utilized, Rio informed that the revenues form part of the consolidated funds of the state and was utilized for financing the budget expenditure such as salaries, pensions, debt servicing, and other activities of the state government.
To give more importance and emphasis on GST collections. As Nagaland being the only state which is a non-revenue generating state, and this may be our only source of income.
As far as the GST is concerned, the introduction of GST, the revenue collections of the central GST or state GST has improved. In our state also, the GSTs are paid online, and therefore manipulation has come down drastically. If there is specific complaints, then that will be looked into. IGST is levied on the interstate supplies. Revenue under IGST is the state GST component of the IGST and onwards supplied to the states. So the movement is through the RBI Act as the regulator of the accounting of all GST receipts, and is also responsible for fund transfer to central government and the state government.
Nagaland government has stated to allot more funds for the department underdeveloped areas and discuss on regularizations of contracts basis higher secondary education teachers. Chief Minister Nltv, during discussion on the motion of thanks to Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi's address on the second day of the 13th session of Nagaland Legislative Assembly on Monday, said that the budget for DUDA has been reduced for some time due to financial crunch. However, government will allow more funds this year and try for the construct same hostelers for students from Enpo area. Meanwhile, Rio said that it is a matter of such growth concern regarding higher secondary education teachers who are in contract basis. Rio further added that without qualified teachers, students cannot get quality education. Therefore, the government was mulling on regularizations for their services, but the NSF and activists took the matters to the court, which banned some move. Furthermore, the CM informed that the government would try to address the issue. two new bills, namely the Nagaland Groundwater Regulations and Control of Development and Management Bill 2020 and Nagaland Village and Tribal Council 5th Amendment Bill 2022, were introduced on the floor of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly on the second day of the 11th session. The CM, while addressing on the motion of thanks to Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi's address on the second day of 13th session of Nagaland Legislative Assembly Monday, discussed on new district demand, ULB elections, boundary disputes, GST and many other crucial issues. The Speaker of NLA, Shangring Longkumar, announced that two bills will be taken up on March 22 before passing it. It was also added that the defaulters of the bill will be punished with imprisonment, fine or both. Amid all the political drama surrounding by the Rajya Sabha elections for the lone seat from Nagaland, Naga People's Front President Dr. Shirozile Legise on Monday clarified his role by saying that a decision to file a party candidate for the March 31st polls reflected that a grant all regional party represents the voice of the Nagas. Issuing a press release, the NPF candidate chief said that it was NPF bounden duty to take a stand to preserve cultural heritage, to defend the fate of Naga people and raise voice for an early solution to Indo-Naga political problems. On the subject of NPF inviting applications from party leaders to contest in Rajya Sabha polls, Legise said that NPF believes that the Nagas need leaders well conversant with the political history of Nagaland as to convey the true picture of Nagaland to the national leaders in the parliament. He further added that the following invitation, NPF Working President Tenuche Tenye came forward to stand as NPF candidate, and the party accepted his papers, considering him to be the right candidate to fill in the lone seat to President Nagaland in Rajya Sabha. However, the party failed to meet the required criteria within the specific deadlines, expressing his dejection over the entire FESICO. Legise apologized to the people of Nagaland and said that he had to say sorry through it, though it was not his fault. The NPF Working President Tenuche Tenye expressed gratitude to the party president Dr. Shirozile Legise and the party for having confidence in him and endorsing him as a party candidate for the upcoming Rajya Sabha elections. Tenuche in a statement also extended gratitude to the individuals and the Naga public in general for their support and prayers. Furthermore, Tenuche acknowledged and valued the wisdom of NPF as a regional party, which felt the need to be put up as a candidate who would not only present the party interest and ideology but also identify an aspiration of the Naga people in general. He further assured that he is more than willing to stand up for the party whenever an opportunity was offered to him. The Naga People's Front Legislative Party on Monday resolved not to nominate any party candidate for the lone seat of Rajya Sabha. Notably, the NPF-LP in its party to letter President Shirozile Legise stated that the party held an emergency meeting on Monday morning at the Assembly Complex. The NPF-LP in its letter further stated that it approves and endorses the President's stand and that the NDPP and BJP has not taken proper recognition and consultation for nomination of the Rajya Sabha elections. However, the NPF-LP also stated that UDA government was formed on the understanding of persuading Naga political issue for a negotiated solutions at the earliest, consequent upon which one of the NPF MLA was inducted in the cabinet along with the chairman UDA. It therefore stated that under the given situation, the NPF-LP cannot file nominations to the Rajya Sabha elections, which will be tantamount to withdrawal from the coalition government of UDA. Therefore, the NPF Legislature Party reaffirmed not to file nominations to the state elections in accordance to the decision taken earlier on March 18. As the upcoming Rajya Sabha poll for the lone seat of the heated up state politics following Naga People's Party showing displeasure on NDPP-BJP decision to nominate its own candidate without taking NPF into consultation, State BJP Party and Minister Temjen Imna Along said that the decision to file as Pangnang Konyak was purely out of a pre-poll agreement between the BJP and NDPP that took place in the year 2018. Along's comments came on the sidelines of Konyak's nominations filing in State Assembly Complex on Monday. While talking to media persons, the BJP leader said that NDPP and BJP are a pre-poll alliance which was formed even before UDA government came to existence in the year 2021. Along with that, the alliance under the leadership of Chief Minister Nltv has kept its commitment that a Rajya Sabha seat will be given to the BJP party. The president further added that the BJP legislatures in concurrence with CM Rio its list to the central leadership following which the central leaders chose as Pangnang Konyak out of the 9 eligible candidates. Long also added that the RS member is a pre-poll commitment to the BJP. Therefore, he appealed to the NPF President Shirozele Legise to recognize and endorse the decision taken by the alliance.
First of all, with due respect to the most respected Honorable President of the NPF, Dr. Shirozele, I have no much things to say on his comment, but the NDPP and the BJP is a pre-poll alliance where our central leaders have concurred and we are going together with commitments that are there not only in 2018 but till today it has been kept. And we can see that by the magnanimity of our Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nltv, who has kept his commitment of what the pre-poll alliance has always said, that the Rajya Sabha will be given to the BJP party. So to choose the representative for the BJP party, it is the central leaders who chooses it, not any other party, which even the Honorable Chief Minister had concurred, and the BJP legislators had sent its list where the central leaders have nominated Ms. Pangnang Konyak. First of all, with due respect to
Deputy Commissioner of Dimapur Rajesh Sondararajan conveyed a meeting in a conference hall of Nagaland Bamboo Resource Center on Monday. The meeting was held to discuss and deliberate on the participation for the upcoming South Asian Cross Country Championship and 56th National Cross Country Championship to be held at Kohima on March 26. DC Dimapur informed that the main task of the reception committee would be to receive the participants, VVIPs and officials and connect them through their respective liaison officers who will be coming from Kohima. He also informed that the participants, including international athletes and coaches, media personnel, VVIPs and domestic coaches, would start arriving from March 23. The team at the railway station will function 24/7 on rotation basis and said that the first time a team with ambulance will be put up in place at both the arrival points, and in the case of emergency situation, the participants can also be taken directly to the Hospital Dimapur or CIHSR. The DC also said that a control room would be set up at the Nagaland Bamboo Resource Center for monitoring the teams placed at the arrival points and also for coordination with various departments. He also requested the Railway and Airport Authority Dimapur for establishing the reception desks and DPRO Dimapur for announcement. Speaking on the ongoing issue of the Lota Baptist Churches Association, the Lota Hoho informed that they have dissolved the hetero existing Lota Baptist Churches Association administration under provisions of Article 371A in Clause 1, 2, 3, and 5 of the Constitutions, and as empowered by point number 8 of the 16-point Agreement 1960 and the Nagaland Village and Tribal Council Act 1978 amended in 2011. Lota Hoho Chairman Engineer Mondamo Ovang General Secretary S. Abentanguli stated that the Hoho has elected a pro-team speaker for an interim period of 6 months for reorganization of the LBCA administration. Further, Lota Ho stated that it banned all activities of the LCBA till the LCBA is reorganized by pro-team team. Notably, the LCBA has not been functioning as per the LCBA constitutions, Sakens and the LH Baptist churches have withdrawn from the LCBA. Lota Ho stated that although the initiative has been taken by the Lota legislatures, Lota elders, and BCC, yet the LBCC refused to attend meetings and come to solution. Thus, the Lota Ho has come to a conclusion and banned all the activities of the disbanded LBCA organizations, and Lota Ho also asked the church organizations not to attend any meetings at the upcoming meeting, which is scheduled to be held at Vangkosang at March 23. Lota Ho gave a stern warning and stated that anyone hosting any LBCA meetings or activities will be viewed seriously and actions will be taken against the defaulters. With the government failing to take any decision on the supernation of issue of government medical doctors despite given one-year deadline, the Nagaland In-Service Doctors Association NIDA has decided to go for a 3-day mass casual leave from April 18 to 20 as first phase agitation. The Vice President of NIDA, Dr. Limheye Konyak, and General Secretary Dr. Kavito Jimomi stated that association was kept in abeyance following an appeal made by the Health Minister on March 5, 2022. However, no decision of superannuation issues was taken up during cabinet meeting. With no other option in hand, the NIDA has decided to go on a mass casual leave from April 18 to 20, after which the team will meet at Kohima to discuss further course of action. Manipur police have seized 999 rounds of 9mm caliber ammunition from an auto rickshaw in Chumukedima on Sunday, following which 5 persons were also arrested by the police in connection with the recovery and seizures. Authorities informed that a consignment of ammunition was recovered and seized on Sunday. The DCP of the Manipur Crime Branch and Pro stated that based on the credible inputs regarding trading of ammunition in and around Chumukedima, the police launched a special operation and seized the ammunition along with 5 individuals. Meanwhile, a case has been registered with the Dipupar Police Station under Section 120B 34 of the Indian Penal Code of the Arms Act. 2 power projects have been inaugurated in Kifri on March 18, and the inauguration was done by the Deputy Commissioner of Kifri, Tiwati Iyer. The SDO Civil of Kifri, Chambentang Muri, in a press release notified that both projects for setting up electrical power substation, CHC Pungro Town, and electrification at Amikoro village were funded by NEC. DC Kifri Tiwati Iyer also mentioned some of the schemes taken up in the district under the Aspirational District Program. He also stated that proposal for construction of Skill Development Center at Kifri has been submitted to Niti Ayog. Lastly, he thanked all the allied department and the public for their cooperation till the completion of the power projects. In the recently concluded event hosted by Culinary Culture, the country's only authoritative culinary movement, the Voice of India's Food Revolution, Chef Joel Pasumatri of Nagaland was placed 27th in the Food Superstars Top 30 Chef of India 2022. Chef Joel Pasumatri is an alumni of IIHM Kolkata and graduated from University of West London. The first edition of the ranking was unveiled as special ceremony on 19 March 2022 at the Leela Place Palace, New Delhi. A mass social work is all set to be held on March 23 from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. in Kohima with the involvement of the state government, employees and the general public. Notably, the social work is began organized in view of the South Asian Athletic Federation Cross-Country Championship and the 56th National Cross-Country Championships to be held in Kohima on March 26, 2022. Furthermore, Home Commissioner Abhijit Sinha mentioned that the Deputy Commissioner Kohima may call for a meeting of all the department CSOs concerned for planning out their mass social work to make all the wards free of any kind of waste, rubbles, mules and other overgrowth. He further said that any kind of waste including debris and building materials may be creating public nuisance or giving dirty look along with the roads and paths should be removed, disposed of. Meanwhile, the general public CSOs are requested to cooperate and provide assistance in helping carrying out the mass social work successfully. A free heart disease detection camp is scheduled to be held on March 26 at Naga Hospital Authority in Kohima. Notably, the camp is being organized for children from 0 to 18 years under RBSK program, National Health Mission of Nagaland. It is to be mentioned that during the camp that the children will be provided free consultation and free echo. A 3-day capacity building of fish farmers through skill development training and critical inputs distribution is currently underway at Broader Fish Farm, Dimapur. Notably, the training is being organized under NEH program on advances in sustainable aquaculture practices by ICAR Central Institute of Fisheries Education Kolkata Center in collaboration with the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources of Government of Nagaland. It may be mentioned that the training is being organized with objective of empowering the small and marginal farmers of Nagaland by imparting practical knowledge and skill. Furthermore, Deputy Director of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources Dr. Vimezo Kire, while chairing the inaugural program, urged the participants farmers to make full use of the training and adopt scientific fish farming practices to enhance productivity and improve their livelihood. It may also be mentioned that a total of 50 fish farmers participated in the training and received critical inputs for fish farming. Shamator District Football Association on Monday held its trials at public grounds Shamator. Notably, the trials were held for the selection of Tiao Inter-District Tournament. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister Nltv on Monday congratulated N. Biren Singh for swearing in as the Chief Minister of Manipur for the second term. PM Modi, while taking down to Twitter, mentioned that he is confident about Singh's team and that he would take to Manipur to the newest height and progress and continue the good work done in the last 5 years. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Nltv mentioned that he is very sure that under the leadership of Biren Singh, Manipur will make extraordinary progress and reach to new heights of development. Uttarakhand CM designate Pushkar Singh Dhami is all set to take oath as the Chief Minister of the Hill State on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Notably, the swearing-in ceremony will take place at the parade ground in Dehradun. It may be mentioned that the decision to make Dhami the CM of the Hill State was announced on Monday after the Legislative Party meeting in Dehradun. The meeting was attended by BJP Central Observer for Uttarakhand, Rajnath Singh, Manish Milik, and the party's poll in charge for the state, Prahlad Joshi. Earlier, Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has made the announcement on Monday saying that Pushkar Singh Dhami has been elected as the leader of the Legislative Party. It may also be mentioned that along with him, the cabinet will also be administered the oath. Pramod Sawant is all set to take oath as the Chief Minister of Goa for the second term on 28 March. Notably, the BJP is preparing for a grand swearing-in ceremony for Pramod Sawant government in Goa, whereby invitees have been sent to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, BJP Chief J.B. Nadda, Union Minister, Chief Minister of Party Rule States and Party Presidents of the state unit. It may be mentioned that the Sawant, along with BJP leaders, met Governor P.S. Sharifdan Pallai on Monday and stake a claim to form the government. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has tendered his resignation from the State Legislative Council days after he was elected as an MLA from Gorkhapur by a margin of 1,03,390 votes, defeating the Samajwadi Party candidate Subhawati Upendra Dutt Shukla. This is the first time that Adityanath has been elected as MLA. Adityanath was elected as Uttar Pradesh Legislative Council in the year 2017 after he took the oath as Chief Minister following the Bharatiya Janata Party's landslide victory in the assembly polls. He also presented the Gorkhapur Lok Sabha seat several times until 2017. Yogi Adityanath, who led his party to a triumph victory in Uttar Pradesh, is likely to take oath as Chief Minister of the state for the second tenure on March 23. Adityanath will be the first Chief Minister in the last 37 years to return to power after completing a full term in the state. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday extended greetings to the people of Bihar on the occasion of Bihari Day. President Kovind, taking down to Twitter, mentioned that Bihar has a glorious past and rich culture heritage. He mentioned that hardworking and talented people of Bihar have contributed significantly to the development of the country. The president further stated that during his tenure as the governor of Bihar, he received immense affection from the people of the state. Meanwhile, PM said that he wishes that the state of Bihar, rich historical and cultural heritage, continues to set new records of development. Notably, Bihar Day is celebrated on March 22, marking the formation of the state of Bihar. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Lucknow on Wednesday ahead of the Bharatiya Janata Party BJP Legislature Party meeting on March 24. The oath-taking ceremony of the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will take place on March 25. This will be his second term as the Chief Minister of the state. As per sources, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Bharatiya Janata Party National President J.B. Nadda are on the list of invitees for the scheduled oath-taking ceremony of Yogi Adityanath. Yogi Adityanath, a Monk-turned politician, won his first ever assembly elections by a margin of 1,03,390 from Gorkhapur urban constituency, defeating Samajwadi Party candidate Subhawati Upendra Dutt Shukla, who secured 62,109 votes in the recently concluded UP elections. On World Water Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that the nation is undertaking numerous measures to ensure water conservative and access to clean water for citizens. PM took down to Twitter and urged the people to affirm to our pledge and to save every drop of water. He also said that our nation is undertaking numerous measures like Jal Jeevan Mission to ensure water conservation and access clean water for our citizens. He further said that over the last few years, it is heartwarming to see water conservation becoming a mass movement with innovative efforts placed in all parts of the nation. He also extended his appreciation to all those individuals and organizations who are working towards saving water. Lastly, he said that this year the focus is on preserving groundwater levels. US President Joe Biden on Monday called India's response on Russian invasion of Ukraine as shaky. Meanwhile, Biden lauded the US-led alliance, including NATO and European Union and key Asian partners, for his united front against President Vladimir Putin. However, India was expecting among Washington's allies. Meanwhile, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shingla on Monday met his counterparts, the visiting under U.S. Secretary for State for Political Affairs Victoria Nuland, and discussed the situation in Ukraine. Notably, this was the first high-level political meeting visit to Russia since Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, the Foreign Office consultants, this meeting provided a valuable opportunity to discuss contemporary religion issues pertaining to Southeast Asia, the Indo-Pacific region, West Asia, and the situation in Ukraine, among others. The UN General Assembly (UNGA) will vote on Wednesday on a draft resolution on Ukraine, the second such resolution since the start of Ukraine's special military operation in Ukraine. The 11th emergency special session of General Assembly will be held after a letter requesting the reassumption was received by UNGA President Abdullah Shahid. According to sources, the new UNGA draft resolutions focus on humanitarian situation, calling for protection of civilian medical personnel, aid workers, journalists, hospitals, and other civilian infrastructures. The Russian court on Monday ruled to ban Instagram and Facebook in the country, labeling its parent company Meta as extremist, specifying the ban on Meta's activities will not apply to the WhatsApp messenger. The Trivoki District Court of Moscow said that the decision will be enforced immediately. Earlier, the Kremlin had threatened to ban Facebook and Instagram after his post called for violence against Russia. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett is set to visit India on April 3. MEA states that Naftali is undertaking the visit of the occasion of commemoration of the 30 years of full diplomatic relations with India and Israel for 75 years of India's independence. MEA in an official statement stated that Bennett is paying the visit to India as invitation at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Minister of External Affairs. Both the leaders had earlier met on the sidelines of UN Climate Change Conference COP26 in Glasgow in November last year. They also had a telephonic conversation on August 16, 2021. India and Israel elevated their bilateral relationship to a strategic partnership during the visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Israel in July 2017. Since then, the two countries have continued to deepen their strategic partnership with focus on innovation and research. In a significant move, 29 antiquities have been repatriated to India by Australian government. The antiquities are Shiva and his disciples, which come from different time period dating back to 9th to 10th century. The antiquities are from Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and West Bengal. This follows the recovery of a 500-year-old statue of Hanuman, which was handed over to India High Commissioner in Canberra, Manpreet Vora, by the US charged d'affaires in Australia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi thanked his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison for returning them. The Archaeological Survey of India said since 2014, 28 antiquities have been returned to India. The China Eastern Airlines MU-5735 Boeing 737-800 carrying 132 people has crashed in Forested Hill in southern China at around 2:20 p.m. on Monday. The Chinese airline was flying from Kunming to Guangzhou, which planted to earth in Guangxi province and caught fire. According to reports, the plane crashed almost vertically, descending at almost 31,000 feet per minute before it crashed. The number of casualties and the reasons so far of the crash are not known yet. However, researchers have seen no sign of survivors. Meanwhile, the Chinese Communist Party local officials of Guangxi and Yunnan are yet to release official statement on numbers of deaths in the crash. However, rescue teams still remains on spot, but the likelihood of survivors are slim. Thank you for tuning in. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.